Hi, my name is Martin and I'm a specialist technical coach and mentor in open formula. In this video, I'm going to tell you some of the insights and opportunities from FP3 and qualifying. If you're interested in what my thoughts are, definitely keep watching. Welcome back to Lower Lap Time, guys. I hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed the video yesterday. Thanks for your comments as well. I'm going to address a couple of them a little bit later on in the FP3 analysis. Let's start with the conditions. We've still got that annoying tailwind down into turn one. A lot of the drivers were struggling initially in FP3 just to find their braking point and braking reference. They're probably braking at, let's say, the 100 they were braking at yesterday and braking there this morning, and they were like, hang on, what's going on? So a lot of the drivers went deep initially in FP3. I wanted to give you guys a curb update at Ascari as well. Unfortunately, no one's using the entry curb into Ascari anymore. Really strange, because like Lando tried it yesterday, looked pretty compliant to me. I don't know what you guys think. I didn't get too many comments on that. And then just like gave up on it. So now no one's using the entry curb into Ascari. It's frustrating for me. I think that's a gold mine. I think there's heaps of lap time, the entry curb into Ascari. Imagine just firing the car in there. You don't need to take all of it. Like, I'm not suggesting the whole car goes across and you barely stay within track limits. Just clip that left front on there. I just think there's so many drivers that are running wide in Ascari, and then it just ruins the whole flow. It's a chicane like any other. So yeah, you guys know that if you just the entry curb, you nail it, unload it inside front, you won't have a problem, and it's completely safe and fine to do. And my whole philosophy is that you just try it and build up to it. You start hitting it at like 150, 200, 250, eventually hit it at the right speed. And yeah, really disappointing to see, because I think still there's a big opportunity there as well. We spoke about the delayed racing line switch as well between exit of Ascari and Parabolica. Now I've got a good read on a couple of drivers that are doing it. Charles Leclerc is doing it. Lance Stroll, potentially. Not sure. I did see him do it once, but not enough with enough consistency to see him do it. And there was another one, Ollie Behrman, as well. Again, guys, I think, yes, there is lap time there. I said yesterday my estimation is that it's worth 1/100th of a second. The biggest opportunity in Ascari is first entry curb. So you've got to normalize for the run through Ascari, right? Let's say you've got, let's say a driver that's doing it versus not doing it. So a driver that is going straight down between Ascari and Parabolica versus someone that's bringing the car across. I feel like the speed that you carry down that back straight towards Parabolica is a function of how well you can do through the Ascari chicane. So like if someone's flying through Ascari chicane using correct technique, using the entry curb, and then doesn't do the delayed racing line switch versus someone that does, what I'm trying to say is the speed you can carry through Ascari is the most important thing. The delayed racing line switch is a little bit like icing on the top. So I'll show you guys what it looks like in action anyway. Let's have a look at Leclerc together. So this is how it looks. He's not really touching that curb on the left here. Cool. So he exits at 260, keeps the steering wheel straight, and there's a bit of acceleration between 260 and 300, and then Leclerc brings it across. So I'll show you guys that again. Interesting to have a look at the way Charles introduces the brake pedal as well. I spoke about this yesterday being important, and I said they're kind of putting it on progressively. Quick progressively would be the way to do it, not quite smashing it, and not quite like progressive, like in a long corner of constant radius when you're turning and braking at the same time. So that's good from Charles. Happy with this at this point. Let's see at what speed you would hit this. So you would be hitting it at, say, 180. Yeah, so I'm there saying, okay, fine, so 180. So I'm there saying hit it at 100, try it at 150, eventually try it at 180. So they grab a few shifts here as well. You guys corrected me, which is true. But from this point, there is still a little bit of acceleration that has to be done. From 260, they get up to 320. So that's where Charles is doing a good job keeping the steering wheel straight, just letting the car breathe for a second, and then brings it over underneath this bridge. That's pretty good. So happy with that. Like I say, though, the opportunity, that's a very small opportunity. It is something like if you're Lando, Piastri, looking for that last kind of, 100th of a second, yeah, there's opportunity there. But I'm talking about, tenths. There's tenths of a second of opportunity here in the first entry curb. So yeah, disappointed to see not anyone do that, but I wanted to show you guys that's what the delayed racing line switch looks like in the hands of Charles Leclerc. Just while we're on the braking technique and like, so when you brake, how much pressure you put down, got a good chance to see Charles into the second chicane. And again, it's kind of quick progressive. He kind of made a meal of this chicane, to be honest, didn't quite get the nose in there. But yeah, that's about what I expected. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that looks pretty fair to me. I'm just basically focusing on the inputs, yeah, how the drivers are introducing the car to the brake pedal. On one side of the spectrum, there's hammer it. That's when downforce is huge and grip is huge. And on the other side of the spectrum is, you know, introduce the car to the brake pedal. And I said it's going to be more, not quite hammer it, but it's going to be like a step in from there. So that all looks pretty good. The drivers are braking well in terms of their position and their application as well. But I did see on board from Ollie Behrman, he was making a lot of changes to the steering wheel with the braking setup in turn one, the first chicane, second chicane, Lesmos as well. Fully support that. That's one of the opportunities that I said yesterday is like there's braking point, there's braking application, and then there's braking setup. And Ollie Behrman, not only is he doing the delayed racing line switch, which is good, shows attention to detail, he's also mucking around with the tools as well. Awesome. So let me walk you through some of the things that I saw in the hands of Ollie Behrman. Let's have a look at them together. So this is down the pitch straight. You see it flash up EB5. So he's making an engine braking power adjustment. Engine braking is a tricky one because the speed of your downshifts in a way is also controlling the engine braking. Like if you smash them down super quick, that's high engine braking. If you just do what Nico Rosberg says and don't touch them until kind of later in the corner and just go do, 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 then, you know, that's not heavy on the engine braking. So it's like you've got to be consistent with your downshifting pattern to be then able to make an engine braking power adjustment as well, which is what he's doing here, saying like, if you normalize for the same downshifting pattern, then how strong do you want that engine braking effect to be? That's what Ollie Behrman's changing into turn one. So good on him. Hope it works out for him. After he comes through the first chicane, bang, another engine braking adjustment. Unfortunately, I couldn't see the number here, guys. If any of you know what it is, you know, let's say it was 4 or 6 or whatever. I'm not sure which is going to be stronger engine braking or which is going to be, I think Mercedes have it the other way around. I think it's like EB1 is stronger than EB5, for example. Anyway, another EB change. And then a few moments later, a brake balance adjustment. This is 50 something. Again, I can't read it just because of the brightness here. So engine braking adjustments, brake balance adjustments. He then goes through the second chicane into Lesmos 1. There's another brake balance adjustment here as well. So I just wanted to call that out. Like it's very good from Ollie Behrman. It's directionally correct. I don't know whether these changes are the right changes. Depends what he's struggling with. Presumably they are, like he knows what's going on and what he needs. So it's good attention to detail from Ollie Behrman. I wish that they like all of the drivers play around with this. Some do it more than others. It's just how into the detail are you? How consistent and precise are you with your technique? And at what level are you to be able to then start exploring these options? This is where Nico Rosberg went into the details and really optimized for this. Michael Schumacher was famous for adjusting the brake balance per corner. And that was at that time, like we're talking about late 90s, early 2000s, that was Michael's way of finding that extra, just optimizing the car's performance. They didn't have engine braking or brake migration or brake shape or anything like that, nothing too electronic. It was Michael's way of finding, you know, the last little bit. And if you watch his Monaco pole lap from, I want to say 2012, when he got pole and then started 5th around 2012, something like that. Yeah, he's on the brake balance adjuster through the whole lap as well. So awesome. And I wish like that still happens, as you can see, but I wish that mentality of searching for every last bit is here with us today. Unfortunately, it's not. You've got guys doing delayed racing line switch, Leclerc, Stroll, and Behrman. That's it. Guys riding the entry curve at Ascari, no one. And then probably guys making adjustments to engine braking, brake balance, differential, entry, mid, exit, brake migration, brake shape, and so on. You could probably count them on one hand as well. So it's a little bit disappointing to see, but that's what we got at the moment. I wanted to address some of you guys' comments as well from the video yesterday. Thank you for commenting. It definitely helps the channel moving forward. If you can, do the same on this video as well, and I'll try to address them tomorrow in the race video. So two of the main things that I wanted to call out, a couple of you guys were saying, like when I spoke about Kimi Antonelli and his mentality, and I was kind of saying, look, Kimi's got the talent clearly, but I don't think there's nurturing. I don't think there's mentoring. I don't think there's direction for Kimi. Actually, I'd go as far as to say I am certain that there's no direction or mentoring for Kimi, because I can see the mistakes he's making, and I can see that there's not that filter there. And I'm basically saying, look, it's hard for Kimi. He's 19 and he's been thrown in Formula One with no help in that area, which I can see. I'm confident in that. And yeah, a lot of you guys were commenting, well, hang on, this is Formula One. You got to be prepared. You got to be ready. It's all on you. If you're not good enough, then, you know, you should get out. It's cutthroat, the best in the world, blah, blah, blah. I 100% agree with all that. I'm 100% on board with all of that. But let me exaggerate this example for you. Let's say, for example, Kimi was in Mercedes and he didn't have mechanics, he didn't have engineers, he didn't have physios, he didn't have sports psychologists, he didn't have like nutrition or training, and then ask him to perform in that environment. Obviously, and I'm exaggerating for effect so you can see the example, obviously he's going to fail, right? He doesn't have any support whatsoever. What I'm saying is he has that support. He's got the engineers, Bono's doing his best. He's got the physical, you know, everyone's doing their best. He doesn't have the driver, coach, or mentor. That piece is missing. And I'm saying, how can you judge how well he's doing when he's not getting what he needs either in terms of nurturing? Give him everything he needs, then judge how he's going. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think, I feel sorry for a lot of the rookies. They're all coming in very underprepared. They're all coming in with big social media profiles and a lot of money and a lot of hype and a lot of attention, a lot of media in general, focusing on the wrong things, the physical side, for example. Just spending too much time in the wrong areas. At the end of the day, your assessment is lap time. That's all you should really be interested in. So I'd like to bring Kimi that way, bring Colapinto that way as well. I just think that's my response to your comment anyway. I don't disagree with you. F1 should be cutthroat and best in the world, but it's a team sport as well. So that needs to be considered too. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about like that delayed racing line switch and what it could be worth. Again, it's extremely difficult to quantify. So we're here in FP3 with Leclerc Hamilton. Leclerc's 19.3, Hamilton's 19.5. Like, have a look at the throttle traces, for example. Leclerc comes out of the Ascari and he manages to get flat. He's in red. And Hamilton has to lift there. Presumably he's a little bit offline. How are you going to judge, therefore, their acceleration down there? Like, we're not comparing apples and apples. You've got to normalize through the run through Ascari chicane and then just purely judge it. Trust me, guys, it's not worth much at all. We're talking hundredths, and the low-hanging fruit is the run through Ascari. Alrighty, let's talk about qualifying. I'll give you guys an update on the bumps down the back straight as well. Some of you guys in the comments yesterday were saying, no, they're not doing the delayed racing line switch because there's a bunch of bumps down the right-hand side. I haven't seen it yet up to this point. I did see some bumps in Q1. As you saw with Charles, everything looked pretty good. With Carlos as well, didn't see too many troubles. But I'll show you guys Pierre Gasly's first run in Q1 now. Have a look at this. So it just comes down the back straight. No bumps at this point. But then when he crosses over, bang, just there, you see all those little trails. You see all those like little orange marks. I'll just fast forward. There's one there where Pierre comes over. There's another one here and here as well. So where the drivers are starting to come over, there are some bumps. So it's like actually there's not bumps down the right-hand side per se. It's more at which point you come across, then the crown of the road is slightly different. So I still think both options are available. You can come across early. Some of them are doing that to avoid that crown, but you can also cruise down a bit and find a safe place to come across as well. Still think both options are available, but where Pierre did that one, probably wasn't the best place to come across. Nothing to do with the steering wheel, just because of that crown in the road. I think that's the best way to describe it rather than bumps. A lot of mistakes in this session in the Lesmos 1 and 2, particularly Lesmos 2. We spoke about it. I've been saying all weekend, like, don't overdrive the Lesmos. That's an opportunity there. Just keep it safe, keep it clean, brake nice and early, roll off the brakes, and don't ask much from the car other than to just go through carry speed, good minimum speed. So Liam Lawson off at the Lesmos 1, that cost him, as well as Isaac Hadjar, a mistake on the exit of Lesmos 2. I think Carlos got track limits at Lesmos 2, and even Max had a moment almost track limits at Lesmos 2 as well. So there's 4 drivers that were caught out in the first quali session in Q1. It just goes to show, I think it was just, play a conservative inputs into there. So not too late on the braking, not too hard on the braking. Don't carry too much speed in with the brakes. It's more about just get the braking done, roll it, and load the throttle, like get that throttle trigger ready for a nice early throttle, clean exit, straight steering wheel. I think that was the key with the Lesmos. So the Q1 results are on the screen in front of you. I don't have all of them, just the guys that got kicked out was Hadjar on the 19.9, Stroll, Colapinto, Gasly, and Lawson as well. Now Q2, I just wanted to talk to you guys about the entry curb again with Ascari. I got an insight when Carlos Sainz had a little nibble at it. Again, looked pretty compliant to me. I haven't seen anything so far throughout the weekend that would suggest that this curb is not usable. Everyone that's touched it has had some favorable outcomes. So I'll just show that to you guys now. This is Carlos Sainz cruising down, boom, touches the curb and happy days. So Alex Albon on the top left, you can see misses it and then has dramas. So again, I think that's my story and I'm sticking to it. This is a fairly compliant experience. So fairly happy with this. This is Carlos coming across the track. Simultaneously, you'll see Alex miss the corner on the top left. But again, I just want to see Carlos as he's coming across the track there. No sparks on the right-hand side. No sparks when he decides to come across either. So he's found seemingly not a bad place to do it. Meanwhile, as you guys can see, Alex Albon struggling on the top left of the screen, missing the first part, understeering. So just given that it was a fairly compliant experience, again, it's stronger evidence combined with what we saw with Lando yesterday, Carlos today. All looks good. I mean, still think there was an opportunity there. That, again, some drivers left a bit of time on the table with the entry curb. It allows you to shortcut the chicane, fire it in with a little more speed, and yeah, it's going to help your whole run down to the Parabolica. So the Q2 results are on the screen in front of you. Behrman P11, Hulkenberg P12. So this is a good job by Behrman, actually. I said he was driving not too badly in FP3. And Bortoleto is doing great at the moment. He gets into Q3. Awesome. Sainz out qualifies Albon just. And we'll compare those laps, actually, if we can. And Ocon with a 19.707, he's also out. I think Lando actually did a really good job as well in this session to scrape through with his 19.2. He kind of blew his first run and he was on the back foot and under pressure. Actually did a good job to make it through. So shout out to Lando for making it into Q3 under pressure. Now, I just want to compare the boys, Carlos and Alex's fastest laps at the end of the session in Q3, actually. Just because we know Carlos was using a bit of that curb and I just want to see the story if anything's there. So Carlos is in blue, Alex is in white. We can see a lot of blue on the run down to Parabolica, suggesting Carlos had a better run through there. Now, anytime the delta is up, that's in Carlos's favor, actually. And yes, he finds a lot of time, Mr. Carlos Sainz through the Ascari. Let's just zoom in. Now, look, I don't know if on this particular lap he nibbled at the curb, but whatever it is, it seems like he can just get on throttle earlier and bang, carries a lot more speed than Alex Albon through there. They're braking at the same point. Everything looks similar. It's just what I see here is just Carlos more on the throttle. Again, guys, I'm not sure as to on this particular lap whether or not that was the case, but seems like Carlos had a bit of a trick there as compared to Alex in the Ascari chicane. Q3 results are on the screen in front of you. How can we say this, guys? Come on, it's an amazing job from Max to beat both McLarens here. Both runs, by the way. I think first run and second run. Yeah, really good job. I'll try to bring up the telemetry as well. We'll have a bit of a look, but really the ghost car is going to be telling for me. This is classic Max, guys. Like this is clutch four-time world champion Max Verstappen. This was an exceptional performance. I feel like, yeah, just his first sector was really strong compared to the McLarens as well. I know he's got a little bit of a top speed advantage there. So he's doing 348 where the McLarens are 345. But that's not necessarily, I don't think, worth, 2/10 in the case of Piastri. So I think Max under brakes into the first chicane. Yeah, class. Also, a really good job in the final sector as well, which includes Ascari and Parabolica, as compared to the McLarens as well. So good braking, I think. And again, we'll have a look at the ghost car, have a look at the telemetry. Looks like some nice braking in the first chicane, tidy in the Lesmos, and then he's either hammered Ascari or hammered Parabolica. If I had to say, knowing Max, I don't think it would be in Ascari. I think Parabolica. That's just my rough guess. We'll have a look at the telemetry. We'll confirm later, but I like to have a stab, just try to characterize the drivers as much as I can. Again, another good job from Lando. This was clutch from Lando. Had to pull this one out. He blew his first run again in Q3 in this session. good job. And I think the guys did a lot of good first runs as well. Piastri had a good first run. Verstappen had a good first run. That's pretty good for Oscar. Like, he should be happy with that. He's on the clean side for tomorrow as well. We'll talk about that as well because I want to talk about the start, as I always do. And Ferrari drivers didn't improve at all on their second runs. Really interesting. George was asking for the medium, ended up not getting what he wanted, so that was strange. And Antonelli, that's pretty good recovery as well, having missed FP2. And we have to shout out Oscar's missed FP1 as well. So I think for the most part, all these guys have done a really good job. Like, obviously Max's pole, Lando's clutch, just pulling it out of the bag in the final run. Antonelli's done well, Bortoletto's done well. I think Ferrari have done well. It's just they didn't manage to improve on their next runs either. Let's compare Max versus Norris and see. Now, there's going to be not much in this. Ooh, yeah, really interesting. Okay, so first chicane, bang, big delta in Max's favor, and second chicane as well. Yeah, thought as much. I mean, there's not much, like, where else could it be, right? There's not that much top speed. Max has done an amazing job, and I spoke about braking being the opportunity, right? So have a look at this. This is Max driving clean past Lando's braking point. You see all the speed he can carry is in, and he just pulls it up in time, and that's a really good use of the brake pedal. Lando finds a bit of time on the way back, but, you know, by the time they're ready for braking in the second part, Max is still a tenth up. He exits the first chicane 1.5 tenths up and just holds onto it. He ends up being 1/10 up as well. See the speed trace here. Max has got a little bit more top speed as well, just to hang on to. So that's class from Max in the first chicane. He does something similar in the second chicane as well, guys. You see Max's throttle driving clean past Lando's braking point again, and yeah, going for it. So I suspect Max is just harder later on the brakes. This is interesting as well, the squirt between the two chicanes, Max giving it a little jab and then back off, and yeah, just he's chasing the lap time a little bit more in this section of the racetrack. Really good driving by Max. This is class. Let's have a look at this is what I thought as well. Let's have a look at the Ascari and the Parabolica. I can already see in the Parabolica the similar trend. Max driving clean past Lando's braking point, brakes late hard, and then just slams the throttle as well. So this is really aggressive all-in driving from Max. Turns out in the Ascari chicane, Max lost a little bit of time just through there. If I just zoom in, delta before was 0.07 in Max's favor, ends up 0.05. So he lost 0.5 tenth through there. Again, like, I don't think chicanes and curb riding, I mean, we spoke about this in Canada. This is where he lost pole, actually, in turn 6 and 7 in Canada compared to George Russell in the chicanes. I've never sort of thought Max is like a chicane masterclass or anything like that. But high speed, downforce, significantly active, high speed braking, and yeah, this is all Max. His favorite track is like Belgium, I think. So it goes to show when you're in that 200 plus range, Max comes alive. Also got pole in Japan and Silverstone. These are all high speed tracks. So good on him. Yeah, good job by Max. Awesome. Happy to see good technique as and where I come across it. Looking ahead to tomorrow, guys, really interesting. You guys know my philosophy. I'll repeat it for the avoidance of doubt. I want to see the pole sitter, and I think Max will do this. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't do this. We'll revisit this tomorrow. But the pole sitter, I think, needs to angle their car across to the inside, fight and compete for the inside, take that inside position, and then that's your insurance policy. If Lando gets a good launch, he has to put some steering in, go around, and then attack from the outside. The rules favor you less. It's a lot harder. Let me jump over to the whiteboard and explain what I'm talking about. Righty, so we're here, start finish line. So we're coming into turn 1 tomorrow, something like that. And Max will be on the racing line over here, and Lando will be over here. So we got Max in blue. What I think he needs to do, preset the car in the box, and that way you don't need to put any steering lock in. We've spoken all weekend about how the steering costs you forward momentum and acceleration. So if Max presets and pre-angles his car at this angle and shoots across to the inside, there's no steering lock that has to go in the first phase. He can get to the inside without putting any steering in, right? Now, if Lando in orange does get a good start, he finds Max there. He's got to put the steering in and go around, so that costs you a little bit of forward momentum. Secondly, you find yourself attacking on the outside into turn 1. That's not helpful as well. So I think it makes sense for Max. It all really starts over here with the preset. That's what I'm looking for. I'll be looking for that very aggressive defensive posture from Max. Now, if Max just runs ahead straight forward, he risks that Lando gets a decent start and gets alongside. It's a little bit late to actually come across at that point as well. Max's class in this sort of thing, this comes under the category of racecraft, starts, attack, defense, restart. Max is normally 10 out of 10 here. I'm expecting this from Max tomorrow, four-time world champion. Surely he's going to set himself up with a defensive posture on the grid tomorrow ahead of the 53 laps. Now, look, if he can do that and maintain the lead into turn one, I think he's home and dry. The Red Bull's got a lot of top speed as compared to the McLaren. The Ferraris have also got top speed as well, so it's quite a raceable car as well. It's going to be tough to follow. DRS is not going to be that effective when you're talking about a skinny wing that becomes an even skinnier wing. I just think it's going to be really hard to pass. I think it'll be a one-stop. I think it's a high probability and a high chance that Max gets this one done tomorrow. There might be a chance that Ferrari sneaks on the podium as well. Let's wait and see. Let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. Guys, thanks for watching this video. If I could ask you to leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you had a thought, a question, if you learned something from the video, definitely helps me move forward. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys after the race tomorrow.